today on Divorce Court.
I'm here because I've always put Joe and my son first in our relationship, and it's time for him to put me first.
I love Mecca to death, but there's only so much I can take.
There's been plenty of times he's been on social media talking to girls. I have text messages from girls.
Mecca's always accusing me of cheating, and I admit I've had my issues with that in the past, but since then, I've been loyal, and I want Mecca to trust me.
If Joe isn't willing to change, I would have to move on, even though I really don't want to break up.
Divorce Court is now in session.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. I'm here with Mecca Lassiter and Joe Days. The two of you have been together for 4 years, and you have one child together, but you do not want to be together anymore. Ms. Lassiter, why don't you tell me a little bit about your relationship and why you're here today?
Okay, great. Joe and I have been together since, well, we met in college in November of 2012. Shortly after we met, we started dating. We had a son together. And ever since the birth of our son, our relationship has been hell. We've had issues with his friends. His friends are my biggest concern. He spends too much time with his friends, more time with his friends than he spends with us, than he spends with his kid, than anyone. For example, our anniversary, we were supposed to go on a date. I got dressed thinking we were gonna have a good time. He was smoking weed, drinking with 6 of his friends in my living room.
Mr. Days, now I'm gonna give you an opportunity to respond. Did that happen?
Yes, ma'am, it did, but I had planned on taking her on a date afterwards.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Day, I want to help you survive a little bit. The actual day is really important to women. You know, I'm not saying it's rational, I'm just telling you what it is. So the actual day when something happened, if it's November 6th, she wants to do something on November 6th, okay? Yes. Just trying to help you out. Did she know you had plans for the next day?
Oh, I was gonna take her out later on that night. It's just once she finally got dressed and came and seen us all in the living room, she had a little hissy fit and ran back in the room and took her clothes
Later
off.
on that night, how late was it?
She probably was dressed around 8:30, and we were probably gonna head out probably around 9:30.
Uh-huh. Well, did you just get mad because he was there with his friends and didn't wait an hour so you can go somewhere?
Of course, because, I mean, when I come home from work and I'm expecting a beautiful scene, I'm expecting roses and, you know, a nice scenery, and I see you and your friend, he didn't look like he was dressed. He had on a T-shirt and some shorts. He didn't look like he was going anywhere. So.
You really expected scenery?
Yeah.
That's not real.
Of course. Of course.
In the past 3 anniversaries before, have you gotten rose petals and scenery?
One time, actually, Valentine's Day of this year, I came home to roses all over the bed. It was beautiful. He gave me a teddy bear, bought me a really nice necklace. It was great. So, of course.
You know that doesn't last forever.
Of course
You
not.
understand that, right?
Of course
You know
not.
what I mean? That's not how it ticks. But anyway, you say his friends are always at your house, not just on your anniversary, but every day.
Yes, my house is like a frat house. When I come home, they're there. When I wake up, they're there. They eat there, they sleep there, they shower there. No, seriously, they're there for weeks at a time, not just days, not just hours. They're there for weeks at a time.
Mr. Days, are your friends at your house weeks at a time?
In an incident, there was one of my friends who stayed with us for a couple weeks because he was in a bad situation. But there's been plenty of times where Mecca just comes home and my friends are just there. Like Friday nights, our house is usually the hangout place. And I can recall one Friday night, she came home mad, and we were playing the game, and she just ripped my game system out the wall. Went into the bathroom, locked herself in the bathroom for about 30 minutes with my game. So we're all just sitting on the couch.
Sitting there looking at a blank wall because you didn't have a game.
Exactly, okay. So.
Have you two ever sat down and discussed how you want to run your relationship and run your marriage? Like, when I get home, it bothers me when you've had that conversation?
Yes.
How did it go?
We had days. I told Joe, maybe, I can't remember the exact days. I think it was Wednesdays, because that's when our show comes on. Wednesdays, we were gonna have family time, no friends involved. Sundays, and I think it was another day. I compromised maybe 3 days out of 7 days. Do you know that still didn't work? I didn't get not one day. They're always there. I begged Joe, come watch a movie with me. No, I'm playing a game with my friends. I'm hanging with my friends. Joe, come talk to me. Ask me how was work. No, I'm with my friends.
Now, Mr. D, just sit back a little bit. Do you think you're taking it too far with the friend thing? Did you ever think about regulating that a little bit?
I have, but it's just like, you know, they're my friends. I mean, I'd rather sit at my house and not waste my gas and go anywhere else than have them come to me. My son's at the house, so it's like I'm babysitting and hanging out with my friends at the same time.
Are you working?
Yes, ma'am.
And are you working?
Yes.
I'm so happy. You say, though, that when his friends are there, he gets all macho and disrespectful. Explain to me what you mean by that.
We were in the car a couple weeks ago. I'm talking, hey, how was work? Because I picked him up from work. How was work? Tell me about your day, something. I'm talking and laughing, having a good time, enjoying his company. In the middle of me talking, he just screamed, Mecca, shut up, and cut on the radio. And I'm arguing with him like, don't tell me to shut up. You know, I'm grown, I'm not your kid, don't tell me to shut up. He's, Mecca, shut up, and cut on the radio. So I sat there and I shut up, you know, to stop an argument. And when he left, and when his friends got out the car, I told him, you know, I felt that was disrespectful. You only do stuff like that because your friends are around. Because when they're not around, you don't talk to me crazy. You do it when they're around, and that's embarrassing.
Mr. Days, did that happen, what she just told us about?
It did, but that's a half-truth.
Okay, tell me the whole truth.
Okay, I told her I had something to do. What you have to do? Nothing, don't worry about it. She kept nagging me about what I needed to do, or trying to figure out what I had to do. And I was like, don't worry about it. Just stop talking to me about it, because you don't have nothing to do with it. So it's not really your business to know what I have to do. And she got mad.
Wouldn't it have been easier just to answer her question in the car? I mean, what you guys gonna do? And just say it? I mean, boom, ta-da, it's done.
That would have been easier, but she's just so nosy. It's like, why are you being so nosy? I don't understand.
Well, you're together. You're the father of her child. You were picking him up. She was picking you up. She wants to know how the rest of the day is gonna go. You don't find that a valid inquiry?
I do.
You can say no if you want to. I'm not mad.
No. Honestly, I don't, because it didn't have nothing to do with her. Because I mean, if she has something to do, I'm not gonna be on her back like, hey, what you got to do today? Oh, you got something to do? All right, handle that.
Got it.
We grown.
I got you.
I go through your phone, I'm not gonna lie. He's texting me so many girls. Oh, Mecca, she's just my friend. She's just my friend. Why is your friend texting you pictures of herself, Joe? Why is your friend calling you 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, Joe?
Mr. Jays, your response to that? One of the reasons I think you ask him so many questions, Mrs. Lassiter, is you believe he's cheating on you.
Yes.
Why do you believe that?
When Joe and I first got together, he had another woman pregnant. I didn't know anything about it until later on in our
She was already pregnant?
She was already pregnant.
By the time you two got together?
Right.
Okay, he didn't mention it?
No.
Okay.
No, I found that on social media. So, nevertheless, you know, dealing with that, I accepted it and I thought everything was gonna be smooth. It wasn't. He was going back and forth between me and her. He would be with me one night, he would be with her the other night. And I was so oblivious to it, you know, not knowing what's going on, being in college, just oblivious. Eventually, me and her became close where it was to the point where she would text me or call me and say, hey, Mecca, have you seen Joe? Or, you know, I would call her and say, have you seen Joe? Because we can't find Joe because Joe's probably with someone else.
Were you aware that both of you were sleeping with him at the same time and you just were cool with it?
In the beginning, no. I wasn't aware until well after he had the daughter, after he had his daughter and after I became pregnant. So this was maybe year 2 in our relationship.
I don't understand. I mean, when I was in college, like, not getting pregnant was job 1. Graduating was job 2. It's just, you know. Now, in order to be fair, I gotta fuss at you now. You running around getting a whole bunch of people pregnant. How you plan on taking care of all these babies?
I take care of all my children, and I would like to say, when me and Mecca first began our relationship, when my daughter's mother got pregnant, we were not exclusively together. So, you know, I don't know who all she was dealing with, but she wasn't our person I was with, and she knew that from the beginning.
But you leave trails of babies in your wake. That's what I'm complaining about, okay? That's what, you know, I'm complaining about that. Ms. Lassiter, you say you found out about his cheating via text. Tell me about that.
Okay, I go through your phone, I'm not gonna lie. Most people do. I go through your phone. So I'll go through his phone. He's texting so many girls. Oh, Mecca, she's just my friend. She's just my friend. Why is your friend texting you pictures of herself, Joe? why is your friend calling you 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, Joe? Like, you don't do stuff like that with your friend. I don't have friends. When I first met Joe, he told me I was too friendly. You don't need to be friendly. So every guy friend that I had, completely gone. Joe has at least 10, 15, 20 female friends.
Mr. Days, your response to that?
All my relationships with other females are strictly platonic. I'm not trying to sleep with anyone. I'm not trying to be anyone's boyfriend. I'm not trying to do nothing like that. All my friends, we either just going somewhere, going to eat, going to smoke, just something very platonic. She just takes it.
Platonic, anyway,
platonic,
but
I'm sorry.
Pluto is a plant. Well, actually, it's not a planet anymore. It got demoted.
Yeah.
But let me ask you this. You got a daughter, you're working, you got buddies that you're playing games with, you're smoking weed and have time to go out with other women for dinner and stuff. Do you think you're being an appropriately attentive father and mate for the person with whom you had a baby?
If you say it like that, no. But in the swing of things, it's like I'm not thinking about, oh, well, you haven't took Mecca out to eat in 2 weeks. It's just like, dang, I'm hungry. Mecca's not here. Let's go get some food. I mean, it could be like that.
One day you're gonna find out in the swing of things, your child does not have any respect for you, doesn't have any holler for you. He's not gonna do what you tell him to do because when you were in the swing of things, he was just swinging out there all by himself. Once you have a baby, you have to let all that, baby is number one. It's just like you can't just high-five him on the way out the door. You gotta actually raise him.
I found out he took our son and this girl to the park and to the pool, and they had, I don't want to say family time, but they were spending time together. Do we have family time? No. Do we spend time together? No.
Did that happen? How often should Joe have friends over his house he shares with Mecca? Tell us what you think at facebook.com/Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. If you would like your case to be heard on Divorce Court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at divorcecourt.com. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Divorce Court. Mr. Days, Ms. Lassiter told me, or told us in her papers that you don't like having sex anymore. Is that true?
No, it's not true. I love having sex. I just be tired. I've been working 10 hours straight for 3 weeks straight.
Right.
I don't want to get off work and then, after working 10 hours and then have sex for 2 hours. That means I only get to sleep for like 4.
That's not true. That's not true. And let me tell you why that's not true. Because when the day that this occurred, Joe wasn't working. I was working. He hadn't been working for maybe 2 months. I said, Joe, come here, trying to be all flirtatious, come here, come into the room. We get in the room and, I'm trying to be all cute and stuff. And he said, I don't want to have sex. And, I'm emotional, so I'm like, what's wrong, Joe? I'm just not into having sex anymore. So immediately I'm hurt, like, what do you mean you're not into having sex? Every guy likes having sex. Who doesn't like having sex? He wasn't working then. So what was your excuse?
I probably just didn't want to have sex with her.
Yeah, that can happen. They're not machines, although that can happen. Do you still feel sexually attracted to her?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, definitely?
Yes.
But you guys are on birth control, though, right?
Yes.
Hallelujah. Was it just that one time, or is it a constant refrain that he's no longer interested in a romantic life with you?
It's a constant refrain. For example, we recently had a big issue that caused a separation between us, and he didn't even show effort to be together. Like normally when Joe does things, he's made me videos.
Well, what was the big blow up you had?
I went through his phone and saw that he was talking to a girl. He was supposed to pick me up from work one day. He wasn't there at 4:30. I'm calling his phone. Joe, where are you? Joe, where are you? No answer. About 15 minutes later, he called me back and said, I'm on the way. I found out he took our son and this girl to the park and to the pool, and they had, I don't want to say family time, but they were spending time together. Do we have family time? No. Do we spend time together? No.
Were you hanging out in the park with another woman and your son? Did that happen?
Yes, that did happen, but she was trying to teach my son how to swim. And if you, that's what we
This is the same girl. I'm reading messages, and he's, good morning, bae. How was your day? Hope you have a good day. I sleep next to him. I wake up next to him every morning. I don't get a good morning. Hope you have a good day, Mecca. Hope your day's great. Let me rub your feet when you get off work.
Let me ask you this. This blew up into a big argument, correct?
Yes.
Do you argue a lot?
every day.
Yeah.
Why is it everything turns into an argument? What are you arguing about every day?
Hell, it could be anything simple. Like if I want to go somewhere, well, where you gotta go? I'm just going down the street. You're always going down the street. What? I'm sorry, I don't want to sit in the house and lay up all day with you. So it turns to a big argument from there.
What is your vision of why you two argue every day?
We can be having a good day, and I could think of something he did in the past, and it just angers me, and I can't help it. And I tell him I'm sorry, but it angers me.
That's
so
crazy.
I can't control that. It's something I can't control.
Oh yeah, you can control it, and I'll tell you how. What should Mecca and Joe do to repair their 4-year relationship? Share your opinion on Twitter and Instagram at Divorce Court. Divorce Court will be right back. Ms. Lassiter, Joe is not a grown-up. Joe is a boy. Joe is able to procreate, but he is not able to maintain a meaningful relationship or be a practical father. That's what that is. Now, you went and had a baby with a guy before you really knew who he was. And you went and made a baby with a woman before you knew who you were or was able to do with respect to having a child. You weren't ready, you weren't close to ready. You're just out there doing whatever you want, whenever you want, however you want, and you've created a mess. She would have put up with a whole lot of nonsense from you if you had simply been a little bit available. She wanted to think like she was something other than another piece of furniture at the crib. But you got her there, you installed her in there, and then you kind of said, don't bother me, I'm living my life. And that's how you lost her. You know what I mean? She's a good-looking lady. She's smart most of the time. Ms. Lassiter, how you don't keep getting mad about that kind of stuff is acknowledging who he is and then deciding what you need to do. You're the master of your life, not him. So if you're with someone who doesn't give you what you need in order to be happy, you have to make a decision whether or not you want to stay. He is who he is. He never lied about it. He never did anything other than be who he is. He's a child, you know, but who wants to live with a kid? You don't, because you're mad all the time. You're mad because he's a kid. You know, if I were you, I'd pop off. Yep, later, put him on child support. I would stretch out. From years 24 to 27, I never had a boyfriend. I had a job, I have stuff to do, but I didn't have a dude. They're not necessary in order to survive. A lot of women think they are, but they're not. You stay with a dude because he's making you happy, because he's at least trying to do the right thing. You don't just hang on to whatever piece of little boy you happen to make a baby with and try to make a life out of it, because it won't work out. You need to cover that thing up and stop making so many babies hither and yon. If you're not in the house with your children, they are denied the value of fatherhood in its full bloom. Do you understand it? And it has value. You with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Do the right thing, don't have any more babies. This matter is adjourned.
Prior to coming on the show, I honestly thought that maybe there was a chance for us, but now I think Joe needs to improve on himself before we can be together.
Judge Lynn made me realize I need to grow up. So when I get home, I think I'm gonna have to take some time away from my friends and my other, all my other female friends, and just spend some time with the family and try to mend that relationship.